Hey guys, this is Gabe Dimmick from the Baseball Rebellion, and this is a video breakdown of Troy Tulowitzki. And as you can see here, he's in an unfamiliar uniform. He's in a Toronto Blue Jays uniform after his recent trade from the Colorado Rockies. And this is actually his second at bat, and he's already hit his first home run. He had a great first game, 3 for 5, 2 doubles, and a home run. So that's a heck of a way to start off with your new team. But one of the reasons I wanted to do this article and this breakdown was just to point out some things in his swing. He has a swing that has some unique qualities to it, and he does some things really well, and I wanted to point those out because he's been one of the best hitting shortstops of the past generation, and he's adding to one of my favorite lineups, and what the lineup that I think is the best in baseball this year with Bautista and Donaldson and all the other guys that they have, and there's just too many to name, but you're going to see, I mean, in his swing right here that he moves very athletically. He's a fairly big guy and a strong guy, and he really swings aggressively, and I love it. So let's go ahead and get into his swing some. So the first thing he does is this double tap move. So it's not something that everybody has to have, but it's just a way for him to gain his timing and gain some rhythm. So very similar to a leg kick or a little sway back like Bautista has, but he just does it a different way. So he just puts that foot, on the ground. He steps back towards his back foot, and that prepares his body to actually move forward. So it's very in rhythm. It's very calm and just gets his body moving, so he's not stagnant and stiff. But then you're going to see him move his body forward. So you can see his head clearly moving past the people in the stands. So he's moving his body forward, and then right as he's landing, he's going into a swing. You're going to see his hips open, and while his shoulders remain closed. And this is something that all elite hitters have, where the hips lead the swing. And you can see that by the belt line turning up the first baseline, and this causes that back knee to turn in. Again, belt line is up the first baseline. He has some bend in that front knee, and you see that the front knee has, turned toward the pitcher some as well. Now, it doesn't quite get all the way there. He does land fairly close on that front foot, which is something that we don't necessarily love to see because, he is a guy that's had a lot of injury problems in his career, and as he goes into his turn, you're going to see his front foot and his front knee really spin out, and just puts a lot of pressure there. So we hope that he stays healthy. And for the Blue Jays, this trade only makes sense if he is healthy. But that's something that worries us at times. But overall, his swing is really good. So that sets everything up. So he gathers his energy, moves his body forward, opens his pelvis. Shoulders are still closed, so you can see the angle here between his belt line and the center of his chest. So you can see that angle there, and that shows the separation. And from here's actually what I like the best about his swing, is his upper body. Okay, so watch how his elbows remain apart throughout the turn. Okay, so you see that line between his elbows. Well, what you're gonna see is that line is really gonna be able to stay there all the way until contact. You're gonna see his elbows really remain apart all the way through. So a lot of people call it turning the box. He does that really well, and that creates the upper body turning as a unit, and that allows the barrel to do some really good things, and it creates a really good swing path in the way of the ball. So one of the coolest things I think about Tulowitzki's swing is when we track his barrel right here. Let's watch how close it gets to the catcher's mitt. All right, so I'm just gonna go through, track this barrel here, and I'm just going through the center point of the barrel every time. And let's see, we're going to go one more right here to contact, right around there. And let me fit this curve. So it's a very, very nice path. He has that Nike shape, that Nike check shape that we really like. But let's back this up a few frames to when he was right in front of the catcher's mitt. So look how close he gets here. So we talk all the time at Baseball Rebellion about how the swing that we teach is actually a shorter swing than what a lot of coaches think is a short swing. So a lot of coaches think that the A to C swing, where if I back Tulowitzki up and they talk about wanting the barrel to go straight to the point of contact and how that's going to be shorter. Well, it's really not, because we know where the ball is going to end up. The ball ends up in the catcher's mitt every time, and so for Tulowitzki, I mean, you can see the ball is right here. The ball is going to end up from here to the catcher's mitt, and if he can get his barrel in the way of the catcher's mitt as early as possible, that thing that barrel is going to be in the way of the ball for a really long time, and that ball is going to have no choice really but to be crushed. So he swings all along that line of that ball, and like I said, that ball is hammered because he gives himself a big room for error, a lot of chance for error, and he can still hit the ball in the barrel hard, and that's one of the things he does best. And the way that he does that is, his back elbow comes down, his front elbow goes up, and the barrel turns with him. So he has very little slack between his elbows, so his back elbow doesn't move a ton before the rest of his body. He has a little slack there, but it's not nothing major. He's able to keep those elbows apart right here. So if you're looking at a guy for bat path and barrel turn and these types of things getting in the way of the ball, he creates great lean, so his posture has a lot to do with his swing path. You can see that he has this really great lean back, and he has a very good angle from his this back knee here up through his back shoulder. His spinal lean is really good. He creates that stiff front leg. Um, all these things are really good, and all these things help him to get that barrel in the way of the ball and to accelerate it really fast. And this is why he's one of the best of the generation. So if you watch his back foot, in his turn, it's very subtle, but his back foot is being pulled forward. You can see it actually moves off the ground when he makes contact, pulls up and forward. The front leg slams straight. I mean, it's a violent straightening of the front leg right here. And a lot of that comes from just the speed of his turn. I mean, that knee is looks like it's going inside of his body, doesn't it? It's almost like an inverse. It's almost like his knee is inside of him, is almost toward the catcher. It's so straight. So he does some things really well. Again, that knee and that front ankle worry us just a little bit based on how he lands close, but for the most part, he does so much right. And if you're looking at guys to try to be as far as swingers, he's a pretty good one, especially when you look at the upper body. So just to recap, he does a good job of getting his body moving in an athletic way, gathers some energy, moves it forward, gets that great hip and shoulder separation, really great barrel turn and lean back to where his posture is setting that barrel in the way of the ball, in the way of the catcher's mitt, and that is so close to the catcher's mitt. I love how close that is. It's one of my favorite things to watch with guys is how close they get. And then, in the way of the ball has no chance but to be crushed, and he violently finishes that turn. We see his whole back here at the end. And, congrats, Troy, for having a great first game, 3 for 5, 2 doubles and a homer in your debut as a Blue Jay. So, I hope, just being a hitting coach and being a baseball fan, that the Blue Jays make the playoffs and make a run, because I want to see this team hit. So thanks for watching, guys. Leave your comments below on YouTube or on the article. And again, thanks for watching.